We've had a lot, and I mean a lot of television shows over our years, and some shows have been good, some not so much. But we aren't here to talk about the good and not so much shows. We are here to talk about peak television. Now, you might be wondering, Kosh, what's peak television? And let me tell you, my friend, it's a show that has three traits: great characters, good plot, and has successfully filled the role of the genre it's claimed to be, such as a thriller, action, comedy, etc. Here's some examples that we won't talk about this video: Netflix's Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, The Middle, Regular Show, Adventure Time, and many, many more. Now you might be like, those are kids shows or superhero shows, but hey, I've got more and we'll talk about them now.
Psych you out in the end.
Now, if you haven't heard of Psych, it's a 2004 to 2016 mystery genre show that aired on Ion Television and USA Network. It's about Sean Spencer, played by James Rodriguez, and Sean happens to possess some uncanny powers of observation, thanks to his father, Henry, a former police officer who taught his son to remember even the smallest detailings of his surroundings. One day, or as I like to call it, episode 1, Sean is accused of committing a crime that he actually solved. He convinces the cops that he's a psychic, and with the reluctant help of his childhood best friend, Gus, played by Dull Hill, Sean starts solving cases for a skeptical but increasingly impressed police force. And that's the basic premise of the show. If that sounds interesting, trust me, it is. A show that at times it knows it's stupid and acts like it, but at other times is completely there with trying to solve the case without the cops finding out Sean isn't psychic. To be honest, this show is an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. James Rodriguez as Sean is what makes this show such a great show. He's so funny when he needs to be.
Where are you going?
Or the way he acts when he's using his psychic abilities.
I see a man. He's driving your car. You don't know him.
He's a valet. At a mall. Wait, I see a shoe store. Your father's gold card. A Jamba Juice may have been involved.
Oh my god, I totally went shopping today.
Gus, on the other hand, isn't bad at all either. He's one of the more level-headed of the two, always trying to stop Sean from doing something stupid, but always gets caught up in it himself in the end. This show is great with how realistic it tries to be with if someone was as perceptive as Sean, and that in turn makes this show something special. But honestly, if you're looking for a show that's original, or one where you can try and solve the mystery with them in real time, or just something that has good comedy, even just a show to relax and binge on your weekends, Psych is definitely your show. Plot gets a 10, and it's correct drama, so 10 there. Let's talk about the characters. The characters for this show are great. Sean's a funny, interactive, and well-rounded main character by the end of his run on the show. Not to mention, Sean and everyone else in this show are very interesting. They all have relationships and goals they strive for. This show's characters are magnificent. Take Gus. He works in pharmaceuticals, but is Sean's best friend, entitling him to be there on adventures, but also try and get Sean to stop so they don't get caught. He's got a little power himself. He's got really good smelling, and that's helped them out a time or two, but Gus most of the time needs convinced to want to do any casework outside of what the police chief gives them. But hey, that's what makes his character the more level-headed out of the two. Sean's dad is also amazing. You get to see him in the past with Sean, but both his present and past selves are very enjoyable. You can see he wants to challenge Sean only because he knows Sean can do better when needed, but also cares about Sean and is there when Sean needs him most. On top of that, the way we see him and Sean in the past, and we watch his dad turn, for example, a game of hide and seek into a gunman situation where you are trying to find this gunman ASAP as quietly as possible, it's something interesting. Something, yeah, only a policeman could really teach you. All in all, love Sean's dad. He's a certified G. I could talk about a lot more characters, but I don't want this video to be so long, so we'll use those 3 and move on to the next show. But with all 3 categories being 10s, Psych is officially peak television. Now, as much as I would love to show you the intro for the next show, I kinda can't. I'm not gonna tell you why. But for anybody who's seen the show, then you know why, and it's because the show is Shameless. For those who haven't seen Shameless, get ready for something I like to call the most unrealistic slash realistic life-based show I've seen. And what I mean by that is you'll watch the show and be like, damn, dude, this situation could happen to me like tomorrow. Then other times you'll be watching and be like, I don't know about that one. But anyway, let's talk about the show. Shameless is a show that aired from 2011 to 2021, and the show follows Frank Gallagher, played by William Macy, a single father of 6 who spends much of his free time drinking at bars and doing other unholy things, just trying to have the time of his life. While his kids, on the other hand, oldest daughter Fiona, played by Emmy Rossum, I'm so sorry if I get any of these last names wrong. Oldest son, Lip, played by Jeremy Wright. Second oldest son, Ian, played by Cameron Monahagan. I don't know how to say their last names. I'm so sorry. I should have Google translated it, but I really didn't feel like it. Dude, I just got home from work. I'm recording this. It's my fault. Second oldest daughter, Debbie, played by Emma Kinney, and the 2 youngest sons, Carl and Liam, played by Ethan Kutkowski and Brendan Sims. They all have to take responsibility for themselves due to their mother's absence. The kids do manage to raise themselves in spite of Frank's lack of parenting and unusual parenting style when he does choose to act like a father, but life's never easy for the Gallagher household, and that's the gist of the show. We follow the 6 Gallagher kids, their friends, and sometimes other family members as they transverse through the life of Chicago as kids with no real moral code, other than to strive for the best, never get caught, and do it the Chicago way. I swear to you, man, this show will put your heart in strings, dude. It'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you angry. Sometimes it'll make you all 3 emotions in the same scene, but that's what makes this show so damn good. For this being labeled a drama, it sure does its job. I don't want to spoil anything about the show, but it gets crazy. Anyway though, the plot gets a 10 and so does the drama. Let's talk about the characters. Frank starts off at the beginning of the show as the most unlikable person in this show, and that's hard to be when Debbie's your kid, but anyway, throughout the show, at least to me, he got much more likable and had a good character arc. That's all I really have to say about him. And as for that Debbie joke, that's really for anybody who's watching the review on this and has already seen the show. I was gonna put in a clip of Debbie being super annoying. I could not find one though, so that's my fault. Anyway, moving on. Fiona and Lip, Frank's 2 oldest, are kind of like one and the same, except Lip's smarter than the rest of the family, and Fiona's the only one with jobs. Yes, I said jobs, that's not a typo. Fiona and Lip are parent figures. Well, Fiona is anyway, because Lip's a teen at the start of the show, but Lip does parent-like things. Anyway, though, they both tend to do some of the dumbest things in situations. I don't know if it goes the same for Lip, because he's got anger issues, but Fiona really do be on that dumb shit, but she's still second best girl right behind V. Now you might be asking, who is V? And I'll do V and Kevin real quick. I'll give them a rundown because I want to cover the rest of the kids and move on. But Kevin and V are the next door neighbors to the Gallaghers, and they are my favorite couple in this show. Kevin is this tall, kind of muscled up bar owner with a goatee who's so nice and lovable, but also stupid at times. But hey man, that's just Kevin. And V, his girlfriend, who is a nurse and is loving but strict when needed. She's basically Kevin's rock, but back to the kids. Ian is the 3rd child and the only one of the kids who's gay. This is a constant win-lose situation for Ian because a lot of people in this show don't like gays, but honestly the show gets better and better with it, and I loved Ian and who he turned out to be, and the journey he went on as his character was nuts, to say at least. The journey was nuts. Next is Debbie, and God, I hate Debbie. Later throughout the show, she's not as bad, but at times she gets worse than when you first meet her at the beginning of the show. When you first meet her, she's still this little annoying child, but hey, That's kids. Kids can be really annoying, so I think it just fits the realistic side of the show even more. But let's talk about the last two kids. Liam and Carl are my second favorites to live. Liam, when you meet him, he's just a baby, so we won't talk about him. But Carl, oh boy, he's trouble. He loves making trouble and trying to do something extreme in simple times, but a household favorite through and through. The way you think he's going to turn out one way, but hits a 360 and goes the other way, to me is just some great writing. And that's for when he grows up. You think he's going to turn out one way, turns out a complete different way. He was so funny throughout the show, really carried his character, loved him. Last but not Last but not least, we have Monica, their mom. Trash. Hate her. We don't like Monica. Monica's bad. That's all I have to say. But with that out of the way, characters get a 10, making Shameless peak television. Now, I gotta say it right now, I'm really sorry that you guys have to see this old gameplay of Multiverses. It just did not want to clip what I needed clipped for this video. My Valorant clips got messed up. I'm so sorry. But please enjoy this old ranked footage and let's get into show 3. Take it away. The last show is for anyone who wants a great twist throughout the whole show. Severance aired in 2021 and it's about Mark, played by Adam Scott, and Mark leads a team of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between their work and personal lives. When a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it begins a journey to discover the truth about their jobs. If that sounds different, trust me, it is. This show's genre is drama, but it's so much more than that, because at times it's horror, other times it's a thriller. This show is top tier when it comes to something new and original, and a show you wouldn't be able to guess the ending of. I'm not going to talk about the characters because there's two sides to all of them. All I can say is that this show is a definite watch for anyone who has Apple TV or anybody who was thinking about getting it, because that's the only place you can watch it, and they are doing a season 2. So if it really gets you hooked, be on the lookout for that, because it really hooked me. I'm mad it took me a whole year to finally watch, but not as mad because I'm closer to season 2 with this show. It just drops so many mysterious things throughout the show, and when you finally figure out what these things are or what they represent, it makes you look at the show in a whole different light. It honestly had me mind boggled through and through. It is a great show. It is beautiful. It has great casting, amazing actors, some I've never even heard of. I honestly think everybody watching this should give Severance a watch. It is amazing. Honestly, plot 10. Characters and their growth 10. And genre gets 10. Severance is certified peak television. Those were the 3 examples of some of the many peak television shows we've had over the years. What are some I didn't talk about? What are some you want me to talk about? Leave those in the comments. But that's all I got for you folks this week. If this video does good enough, I'm more than happy to do a part 2. But who knows? Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. 98 subscribers and still growing. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to see how far we go with this channel. But anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Stay good, people. Bye.